Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of BK4Reel. I'm Monica and today we are at the Shorefront Y, where I actually used to take ballet lessons, but now this community center is being turned into a recovery center for Brooklyn residents that are still suffering from Hurricane Sandy. So we're gonna go inside and check that out, but first check out a film from RealWorks where the filmmaker reveals that her online identity is fake. Enjoy.
My name is Jessica Duval. Raised in Harlem, New York, I moved from Puerto Rico at the age of 3 when my mother decided she wanted a divorce. After some sort of epiphany, she figured America would provide us a better life. So she packed our bags and we left a small apartment and unemployed father in Puerto Rico. I aspire to be many things in life: actress, model, filmmaker, and clothes designer. Most of my inspiration comes from my beautiful mother, whom paints portraits and makes jewelry. To describe me in one word, that word would be spontaneous. I have a variety of different styles and different ways I live my life. Some nights I go out, party, get home at 4 in the morning to do it all over the next day. Some nights I just read, anything ranging from Nat De La Pena to Donald Goins. I just like to have fun. I use the internet as an escape when times get rough, boring, or I just need something to do. Talking about the internet, I met someone from there. His name is Anselm, and we've been talking for over 4 years. We met on this website called Skonex.com. He's a real sweetheart, a funny person. I guess it was connection at first instant message. You know how these stories go. He compliments my pictures where, in the caption, I brag about how I look ugly or fat, and he comes back with a smart comment saying how I'm always beautiful or my weight looks just perfect. I reply, "Aww," with 3 W's and a heart. There he replies, "What's up?" with a winky face or asks me how am I. See, on the internet, a lot of people comment my pictures or try to get with me, but I felt he was different. We've been trading pictures, corny jokes, and personal stories ever since. I met him when he was 16. I told him I was 15. Our relationship consisted of late night texting and phone conversations, nothing more than that. He lived in New York and I lived in Georgia. I never told anybody about us. Our virtual relationship, it only lasted for a few months anyways. I broke up with him when I suspected infidelity. I guess he wanted a relationship more than just texting. After Anselm, there are more guys I talk to who is just as funny and sweet, who live in different places far away from me. But you know what? It's too bad I'm not Jessica. The first time I created a fake identity, I did it for fun. It wasn't even a picture of my face, it was a picture of a girl's ass. I created the website, or the page, on Skonex.com. And for the display picture, I stole a picture from Google.com. I Googled big booties or something, and I used one of those pictures as the display picture. Literally after 1 second of creating that fake page, I got about 30, 40, 50 requests, all from guys and a few girls, and I was loving it. I was loving that everybody just wanted to talk to me. Not to me, but the girl they thought I was. I'm an 18-year-old aspiring model named Lucille. I grew up in Harlem, New York. Living in the city that never sleeps, I find 1,000,001 things to do. I'm a party animal. I travel from place to place and feel like I'm moving too fast to be in a relationship. I'm just having fun right now. There's something that I call jackpot. A jackpot is when a girl have over 200 pictures and she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, She doesn't have another website. She's unknown, like she's not as popular on the internet. I could create her another life like that. It's always so easy. It's always so fun. And I think I get a rush whenever I create a fake profile. It's like I'm creating a whole new life.
My name is Deja Lovely. I'm half black and half Chinese. My mother's from Beijing, China, and my father's from a small town located in Alabama. I never figured out the real story, so my theory is that my father was on a business trip in Beijing. What kind of business trip? I have no clue. So he was the most beautiful, darkest man my mom ever seen. I figured there was something about him that made her think he's the one. She mustered up enough courage to speak to him. The conversation must went really well since she gave birth to me 2 years later in California.
There's this one guy. I've known him for 4 years. We talked all the time. We started to fall in love with each other, as we said. One day, he wanted to meet me. And it's impossible for him to meet me because I was supposed to be the girl in the pictures. So he can't really see my face. So every time he would plan a date to meet up, I would be like, all right, let's meet up on the 14th of April, or let's meet up on the 1st of February. And when that day comes, I would always try to make up a quick excuse, like, no, my dad wants to hang out that day. So then these guys, or that guy, well, all the guys, they would take the excuse, and we would plan another date. And when that date comes, I'll find another excuse, a better one, like I'm out of state or I'm busy, I have work. Until one day, the guy that I was talking to for 4 years, he actually met the girl I was pretending to be in Harlem. He took a video of her and him together. He was pissed. This guy was pissed. He wanted to rip my head off. He wanted to cut me off. But when he wrote to me, when he told me I was lying, he caught me, for some reason, I didn't believe it. I thought I was actually that girl.
I'm one of those pretty girls you see at school, but never had the balls to approach. I'm one of those popular girls you see surrounded by friends. I'm one of those girls who have it easy, have an advantage towards other people. I guess you can say I've been wearing a mask for so many years, but it's easy to hide behind a smile, to go around thinking everything's okay.
If I don't steal the pictures, I won't get as much attention. I won't get all those, hey ma, can I talk to you? You looking good, gorgeous. I won't get all of that. Mainly that's the reason why I just kept creating fake identities. I've seen drastically how different it is. I would create a real page of myself, and then on that same website I would just create another fake one. And the fake one would always be the one everyone loves. It's not all about the looks though. I have to keep that in mind. But for some reason I just don't feel as beautiful.
So I'm here with the Director of Community-Based Relief, David Cohen. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, and we're going to talk a little bit about the relief effort that's going on here. How did you get involved in this project?
After the storm, actually I just saw a few Facebook posts from a friend actually I went to Israel with, who works for a UJA nonprofit called Kojeko. And that nonprofit was going into apartment buildings in Coney Island, high-rise buildings in Coney Island, right here on Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. So I started kind of running up into the buildings with supplies. And then since I have a background in community organizing and managing large groups and canvassers, I ended up sort of helping send people into the buildings which brought me to the Shorefront Y, where I've been helping them with the volunteer relief efforts for the past few months. We still need volunteers, and we need volunteers who have certain language skills. We have a large Urdu and Spanish-speaking population. We have people who were afraid to ask FEMA or other government agencies for help because of their immigration status. So we're going to start, and we've already begun doing outreach with those organizations. If you can see the supplies behind me, we made care packages, holiday care packages for a lot of folks in the immigrant community, and we're working with a different foundation now that wants to help provide monetary relief to that community as well. So that's an organizing job. There are continued grants that are coming from all different nonprofits. The Metropolitan Council on Jewish Poverty has one. We're trying to get that into the community, as well as have the resource and support staff to go through all that paperwork. There's also long-term organizing goals in the rebuilding process, connecting skilled laborers or groups like Habitat for Humanity or Architects for Humanity to the community, to the most pressing needs in the community. The third thing I would really like to do, and we're going to work on it here at the Shorefront Y with the UJA's Jewish Greening Fellowship, is something I call Communities Fighting Climate Change. You know, from the governor to the mayor to the president, we realized that this storm was caused by climate change, but I think it's really important that communities most impacted take some small steps to reduce their carbon footprint and fight climate change. So we're going to hopefully do some workshops and try to impact some behavior change to reduce waste, reduce unnecessary consumption, increase recycling rates, hopefully start some composting projects or more community gardens and things like that, and make some small changes to fight climate change.
So how can someone who wants to volunteer get involved?
Yeah, they can come here to the Shorefront Y. They can look at our Facebook page for volunteer opportunities. We're here, we're actually almost officially going to have a volunteer coordinator. We're generally doing Sunday cleanups and canvases right now as we prepare for the larger operations that I spoke about, like identifying seniors' evacuation plans, identifying block captains, and the rebuilding process, which will start, more gung-ho in the spring. But Sundays, we'll take walk-in volunteers at 3300 Coney Island Avenue. We work with New York Cares. You can sign up on their website to get volunteers, and you can visit our website, our Facebook page for other opportunities.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Our next film up is a documentary from RealWorks. Bed Stuy, Do or Buy shows multiple perspectives on the gentrification of one Brooklyn neighborhood.
I'm not leaving.
You're not leaving. So your house is not for sale.
Oh no. And they come constantly with the little handwritten notes and knocking on the window, offering to pay all cash. I'm not selling.
They don't know nothing about Bed Stuy, you know what I'm saying? They don't know, and a lot of the young people now who see the whole image of hip-hop, cool, and they can actually come and live where this culture evolve, and their parents can afford to buy this brownstone.
I've been feeling really lost, alone, and confused when I look around my neighborhood. It's like my community and my memories are for sale.
The gentrification thing, when it comes to mind that it's being a bad thing, because we should be, as a people, should live together no matter what color. But it's the way how America puts it. They chase us out of the community.
This is the cheapest rent I've ever paid, including Chicago. I mean, it helps. Like, I'm living with my girlfriend, so that obviously saves. But I pay $350 a month plus like $50 for utilities. So this is yeah. I'm the envy of everyone I know.
I have really mixed feelings about what I see going on in my neighborhood, and I don't necessarily think that gentrification is the answer to make it all better. What happens with gentrification is the municipal services improve, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the people are better, but the services provided to people are better.
There was a time certain people would never move into Brooklyn, would never move into Bed Stuy, would never move into certain communities because of the people who lived there. But after the whole economical crisis, you find people find themselves not having a choice.
You see like young, white, affluent, not even affluent, just sort of hipsterish people getting off the train. And it's not like this block has changed entirely. I'm not sure where they all actually are.
I love Bed Stuy. I love the community. We walk around and like you can say hi to your neighbor and they know who you are, and you go to the hair salon around the corner and your grocery store is up the block and they sell the kind of food I want. My family, we've moved from one area in Bed Stuy to another area that's practically in Bushwick because our landlord kept on raising the rent. Where I live now, it's kind of uncomfortable, you know, kind of far and removed from all the trains and just distant and lonely.
So what do you think about this neighborhood?
I like it a lot. There's always, you know, things going on. It's fun. I feel safe. I have a lot of friends around.
Have you lived here long?
About 5 years.
Oh wow, a long time.
My grandparents bought that house with my grandfather's hard-earned money as a mail carrier for the United States Postal Service in 1941. The only way I'm leaving that house is if I have to for some reason that I can't even imagine. That house will be in the Modesti name forever if I have anything to say about it.
Hi.
Hi.
So what do you think about this neighborhood?
I love Bed Stuy.
You do?
Yeah.
Would you call it home?
Yes and no. I live in Prospect Heights now, but I lived here about 5 years ago.
Do you think there's a solution to the problem of gentrification where both sides compromise and work together?
If gentrification is you pushing somebody out of their, trying to push somebody out of their community so you can live there, I don't find there's a compromise, but there is a solution, just you stay in your community.
I really just want to have a blended community where everyone can live and everyone can be together and peaceful. It's like we're segregating ourselves, and it kind of sucks.
People can live together. People can live together, but people have to decide to live together of their own will, not because they are schemed into it or forced into it.
I would like to see our neighborhood continue to grow and improve, but I don't want it to grow and improve at the cost of its culture, at the cost of its history and legacy.
In Bed Stuy, it's definitely a far richer history that's already existing at the place. Like I guess they say it's sort of like the Brooklyn Harlem, or you know, like there's a rich like generations of history and people like own the homes and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like gentrification is going to go differently here, only because it's not like, you know, these neighbors have just so much invested in their actual home. You know, they've lived here for a couple of generations, and you know, they're like grandparents and stuff.
You know, that's the thing about it. There's a legacy there.
So you live in this neighborhood now?
I do. I live over on Halsey Street.
Okay. Do you think it's becoming more family friendly?
I see a lot of different changes. Just when it comes to the number of families that are in the neighborhood. I come out during the day when all the kids are out. If they're preschool, they're out here with their moms or possibly with their babysitters and things things like that. But then there is a certain point in the afternoon where a certain crowd may show up, and then it's this. I don't think it's really I'd say after 5. You know, it's just when it becomes more of a social gathering for people without kids. But that's the way it's been for decades, right? You're not going to change that in 2 or 3 years.
Gentrification is just another word for it's just like an urban cityized word for, you know, imperialism. You know, I'm saying colonization. It's just another word for it, but it just happens in the homeland.
I could see someone here being afraid that this would turn into Park Slope, which would be like cause for like alarm. But I don't know, maybe I'm naive. I just feel like it's not gonna like happen. But maybe I'm naive. If only because I just feel like this community has so much like history in it. It just seems like more weird and wrong if like all this gets torn down. But I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Just think about like Park Slope feels to me like zombie mother, crazy white people thing happening over there.
That area that's Fort Greene / Clinton Hill was all Fort Greene when I was growing up. Just like Bed Stuy was just Bed Stuy, but now you cross Stuyvesant Avenue and it's Stuyvesant Heights. Give me a break.
So once again, I'd like to say, man, I'd like to see the people of Bed Stuy, the original people who's been here for however long, band together, not to shun or keep anybody out, but to ensure their own survival.
Our last film is a visual poem. On the Terrace of 1,000 Suns is a dramatic story about a young woman's inner life. Check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to keep submitting your films and check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Also, thank you so much to the Shorefront Y. If you guys want to volunteer, check out shorefrontY.org or newyorkcares.org. And remember, keep it cool, keep it real, keep it BK for real. Bye.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.